Oh, my mic's not muted. Oh, this isn't. Hang on. Here we are at Wendake Stadium at Wendake, Quebec, where the Wendake Trappers taking on the Copenhagen Cult in our Challenger Finals. One of these teams going home a pro team. One of these teams going to go home and think about their life a little bit. Welcome to the SPL Network. My name is Darth. Let's jump into who's on what roster and why you should cheer for them. For the Copenhagen Cult, they got three big names that are most likely going to be on the ice here tonight. Chris LOL being one of the more notorious defensemen in the Challenger division, going to be in for a wild ride against the offense that the Wendake Trappers will have here tonight. Throughout the regular season, TCW has put more pucks in the back of the net than I have analogies, and Chris LOL has stopped more pucks than I can count. Both times these two teams have met each other, Chris LOL, Nexus, and Sanguini were on the ice for it, so I'm expecting that'll be the three here tonight. Both these teams going through a bit of growing spurts early on in the season, transforming into the later half. They've adapted well to their environment, and they've excelled in many ways more than one. Chris LOL going to be your defenseman from the Copenhagen Cult. Nexus is going to be your goal scorer from the boys in the Navy on the left side of your screen. Then Sanguini there to fill in the gaps, hopefully here tonight. But I'm excited to see which of these boys are going to be down there. For the Wendake Trappers, they went 13-2-1 in the regular season. They've made themselves known in the Challenger Division. They're looking to make themselves known next season in the Pro Division. We'll see if that step is tonight or if it will be later on. It's hard to say, really. TCW, top point getter here for the regular season in the Challenger Division. Well, almost the softest hands if Bay didn't exist, but Bay's not here tonight. So, TCW, softest hands in the lobby here tonight. Most goals out of the Challenger Division out of all 6 players that'll be on the ice tonight. Accompanied by Peaches and Staz, both times these two teams have met up. I think we're going to see a great one here tonight. TCW, I think, for the majority, has the most possession time out of the boys on the ice, even though he normally shoots, he normally scores, and we'll see that here tonight, I'm sure of it. But, yeah, both these teams very accustomed to each other, played each other twice in the regular season. Taking a look at the last time these two teams met up. It was on Valentine's Day this year. TCW, Peaches, and Staz found the back of the net 11 times. On the flip side of that coin, the Copenhagen Cult found the back of the net 10 times. Cherries, Nexus, Sanguini were on the ice for that one. So you see a little bit of a dynamic shift. Wendake dropping Tavik in the middle of the season and picking up some gumption. TCW filling in a lot of gaps, has a lot of the possession time there for Wendake on both of those cards during that first matchup. Chris had 3 goals, Nexus with 7, Sanguini with 1. TCW had 5 for Wendake, Peaches with 2, Staz with 2, and Tavik with 1 for the total of 10. Copenhagen, of course, came out on top there during that second matchup. The goal scorers for Wendake were TCW with 2, Peaches with 6, Staz with a hat trick. And then for the Copenhagen Cult, Cherries with 3, Nexus with 3, Sanguini with 4. But for the possession time, going back to that one for a notch in the belt, Chris LOL, during that first matchup, had 1 minute and 1 second with the puck on the back of his stick. Nexus had 9 seconds uncontested puck possession and 25 seconds for Sanguini. So Chris had a lot of time to think about what he was doing with the puck during that first matchup. But on the other side of the coin, Staz, TCW, both having the puck uncontested on their stick for over 1 minute. And that's going to come in a big way here tonight. Peach is only having 6 seconds of possession time. So it's going to be TCW and Staz rotating on the 3, if I'm not mistaken. Second time around, it was a little bit more lopsided, but it was pretty much more of the same. TCW, 2 minutes of possession time. Peaches, 1 minute. Staz had 45 seconds. So they're sharing the load a little bit better whenever it came to the later half of the season, whenever they played the second time around. But for the Copenhagen Cult, that second game, 44 seconds of possession time went to the hands of Cherries. Nexus had 26, Sanguini with 9. And so they're also finding their learning spurts as well. During the first matchup, top save maker Chris LOL had 11 of the team's 13 saves. I can't do math. And he's a real big reason the boys found a little bit of success on that offensive side. Just being able to be the stay-at-home mom, so to speak, whenever it came to the defensive side of the puck. There's not a lot of saves being made from the Wendake side during that first matchup, but of course the second time around they found the back of the net a few more times, and but they did find the win, so that's where it counts. Whenever you can find a way to make that one work for you, more times than not, the team that scores more goals is the team that wins. So if you keep that in mind and play to that advantage, I think you'll do fine in Slapshot. We'll see if which team takes that advice up here tonight, but I will see what happens later on. But yeah, second time around, saves were a little bit more spread out. Chris LOL wasn't relied on as heavily because he just wasn't there. Cherries was taking his spot, and take his spot he did. 8 saves for Cherries, 2 for Nexus, 1 for Sanguine, and really just putting a stop to the offense from Wendake. I think Wendake's going to come out with a large cannon, and Copenhagen's just going to have to deal with it. But this championship is a best-of-3. Winner takes the championship title, bragging rights, and a pro spot going into next season. And I think it's going to be a great one. Taking a look at the odd shot players to watch here tonight. Nexus from the Copenhagen Cult is my pick. 3rd in goals scored, 4th in points made, and he played as many games as the rest of Challenger, only 15 games played, I think, out of 16 possible. Nobody had an Ironman award to have down in the Challenge Division, unless I'm mistaken. We started with 10 teams, we went down to 8 at the end of regulation, and
It happens. There's a few disbands here, a few disbands there. You lean with it, you rock with it, and something stop with it. I don't know. TCW making a name for himself. The carry of Challenger going to be on the ice here tonight. And, sixth in goals scored. This man knows how to pass the puck. He knows how to move the players around, knows how to set it up, knock it down. And he came close to breaking the Challenger record for most points in a season. But, of course, you got to get the Challenger if you're going to make pro, and so he's amongst good company whenever it comes to points on the board. He had 76 points in the regular season. I first placed the cream de la cream. I don't know any other terminology to throw in there, but most points in a Challenger season was made by Henry and Skiztastic in the same season, Season 4 of Challenger. Henry had 123 points, Skiz 118. So there's a bit of a gap there, but TCW prospering in this Challenger division this season. Every season, every division is different levels of competition, and so you can't really take a notch off the belt of TCW. Next closest in points, 3 behind him, trailed the leading goal scorer of Challenger, Bay from the Florida Freeze, and then the list drones on and on and on. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people voting for TCW for MVP. I've seen. I'm not going to say if he won or not because that's up for me to know and you to find out later on. But we'll see if he gets the MVP of the playoffs as well. If he did, in fact, win the Challenger MVP. But he's made himself known. He's made a name for himself here in the Challenger division. We'll see if we're given reasons why. Tonight, TCW Staz Peaches, your starting lineup for the Wendake Trappers. Copenhagen still getting warmed up here tonight. But, both these teams, a little bit different road getting up to the point that we're at now. Hopefully this scene works. It does. This is what the Challenger matchup looked like going into the offseason. And we didn't hit our mile markers, but we are getting the series done. And we'll see how they handle the pressure. Of course, Wendake Trappers' first round win against the Ireland Pepe Tactics, the 4th seed in the Challenger division, making it in by the skin of their teeth. That last day of the Challenger regular season was a doozy, going all the way into the wee hours of the night. First game went Wendake's way, 10-0. That was casted by Cloudy and the Good Vibes Network over there with Young Buck. The second game also going Wendake's way, but it was 6-4. That second game was a little bit closer, and Pepe Tactics just not able to hold on. Playing in that matchup, TCW, Peaches, and Staz for Wendake. Blades, Cape, Derek for the Ireland Pepe Tactics. Derek setting foot on North American competitive ice for the 14th season straight. I love that that's a fact. The man's been around for a while, and it warms my heart to see him down there on the ice again. But so far in the Challenger playoffs, Copenhagen Cult went 3 legs against the Florida Freeze. Game 1 went 2-8 in favor of Copenhagen. And that second game, Florida Freeze came back with a vengeance, made it 6-3. This matchup was not broadcasted according to the website, unfortunately. But then that third game went to overtime, if you can believe that. And the game winner, the one to take it all, was Nexus in that overtime period of action. They ended up winning it 3-2 against Kazi and the boys from Florida. But one of these teams going to be walking away a champion, going to be walking away a pro team, and the other team will have a chance to take on the 9th place of the pro division in the preseason of next season. So the Pittsburgh Spinners will be taking on one of these two teams before Season 9 gets underway. Right now, Season 9 is set to start the week after Easter. So the day after Easter starts the preseason. That goes on until Sunday, and then that following Monday, Season 9 will start. But Pittsburgh Spinners went down to the wire, had a chance to get out of the relegation spot, but the Typhoons, Cottonmouths, Neapolitans, and Stars all wanted a playoff spot going into that last day. And, the cards fell where they laid, and the Pittsburgh's going to have to fight for their spot going into Season 9. That date on your screen is wrong, but we're not going to focus on that. Going out of the Challenger regular season, the Wendake Trappers found themselves a hefty 27 points on the standings, went into the last day with no sweat on their brow. They clinched the conference, or they clinched the division going into that night, and so they just awaited to see who they were going to play. There was a bit of an interchange, bit of leapfrog to play, where the 4th, the 5th, and the 3rd seed, I could have said that a little bit better, 3rd, 4th, and 5th could have had a 3-way tie, and if that happened, the Pepe Tactics were out. They needed the Philadelphia Fantasy to lose to the Wendake Trappers on that last night, and Ireland Pepe Tactics, Philadelphia Fantasy, both of them had to play the Trappers for their final game. If one of them lost, they were out, and it just so happened that the Philadelphia Fantasy were that team. Wendake Trappers maybe had a hand in it, maybe through the match. I don't know. That's just conspiracy. That's my tinfoil hat talking, if you will. But, 3rd seed, 1st seed. It's going to be a good matchup. It was a real, I think, going into the last day, what was it? 5th place could have gotten 2nd, and 2nd place could have lost their playoff spot if they didn't win their one game. Florida Freeze also played the Wendake Trappers on that last day. And if the Freeze lost, the Tactics won, and the Fantasy won, the Freeze were out of the playoffs, if you can believe that. But little nugget for thought there as we go into this last match of the Challenger season. It's going to be a good one. It's a best of 3, so this first game, no matter who wins, who loses, we will go into another set of periods. All SPL games are 3 periods each. Each period is 5 minutes long. If the score ever reaches 10 goals, a difference on the board, we call it early, and we move into the next chapter of our life, whether that's Game 2, Game 3, or we're going to Wendy's after the matchup. We're not sponsored by Wendy's, but I wish we were. I really do. Their strawberry frosty that they had this summer, absolutely, chef kiss. I love that. It was what I was all about back in the good old day of this summer. We got like 3 inches of snow today. I'm not about it. The weather said we got 3 inches. 3 inches is a lot. I think anybody would be completely happy with that amount of snow. Wendy's is mid. All right, somebody ban him. Get him out of here. He's not allowed in here. Get him out. Shoot him down. But yeah, Staz, I don't think Bam's here tonight. That's the only person we're missing from the Wendake Trappers. Chris LOL, Nexus, Cherries, your starting lineup for the Copenhagen Cult. Sanguine is on the bench for this one to start it off. And Demos also out with a bit of a head cold. He's roaming the streets. He's looking to buy some pixie sticks. I don't know where I was going with that story. I'm going to be honest with you. That was a word adventure. Anyway, 6 players ready to rock, 6 players ready to roll. We're taking it down to the ice for the first time tonight. Copenhagen, left side. Wendake, right side. We're on the ice. Puck is dropped. The game is on. I have the mini-map on. We'll get that off, and then we'll keep riding into the sunset, if you will. Here's LOL on that top side wall, looking to bring this one back down and around town, looking to sell his wares. I don't know why the clock's not alive. My monitor apparently isn't connected. There we go. We're riding. We're working out the kinks. This first game's what it's all about. Start this best of 3. Peach is down the near side. Cherries with a good possession, finding his way back towards his defensive side. Peach is out in front. Staz with a chip towards the cage. Just wide out in front. Oh, and that's a swing and a miss by Peaches. I don't know how you can miss the goalpost whilst that close. That, man, don't look at that one, Mom. 4:20 to go here in the first, and my mentality's already been broken. Nexus throwing down the near side, just looking to give his boys some time to breathe early on in this game. Neither team really having a solid setup so far. Chris LOL taking possession back for the Copenhagen Cult. Looks for that top side wall. Elects down to the near side instead. Banks it off the glass. Nexus off that backhand. Stopped by TCW. Here's Cherry. Stick checked away by Staz. And Nexus will recollect that one back to his defenseman. Here's Chris. Banks it off the window. Near side. Goes past both players and out to full 200. Staz takes it up for Wendake. Forehand shot goes off Chris into the near side wall. Chris picking it up for the Cult. They have to take his time towards that top side of the ice. A little spinorama just for flair, just for show. Little style points along the way. Staz slaps it away. Chris wants a little bit more to the conversation. Down the near side. Not a whole lot to work with along that near side yellow. TCW takes it up. Looks down the near side. Cherry's there. Snaps it away. Throws that one back to Chris. Chris down to the near side. Taking his time back behind his own cage, looking to set up the breakout down the near side, finding his way over to Cherries. Cherries off the backhand, looking for a point-to-point pass over to Nexus. He'll keep the cycle back over to his defenseman, and Chris retains possession. 3:10 to work with here in the first period. Cult feeling out the opponent. Peaches loosens it up. Cherries with a jive, not able to get that one away. TCW staying in that shot lane at his own blue line. Here's Peaches, topside out of the zone and down the full 200. Chris here picking it up. Looking to put it down. Near side goes off the face of Staz over to Nexus. Captain of the Copenhagen Cult, finding his way back to the topside corner. Returning that one right back to the center was Chris to Nexus. Near side to Cherries. Cherries at the point. Takes it down low. Look for the forehand. Not able to release it. Good stick checks there by TCW. Keeping that pressure alive. Cherries towards that top side. Looking to ring this one out and around the Rosie. TCW. Cherries getting a few stick checks in there. Former ball peen hammer himself on the ice tonight, showing us his talents. TCW trying to get this one through. Nexus with a chance. Shooting goes off the body, and that one sent down the near side off the stick of Cherries. Good save there by Staz. Back between the pipes, answering the first call to action. Here's Nexus with it. Nexus. Back between the trapezoid. Takes this one top side. Looks to start the breakout. Sends this one back over to Chris. Chris with 2:11 to work with here in the first. Off the forehand, stopped by Staz. TCW picking up what he's putting down. Looking for that far side point shot, not able to get past Cherries. Here's Chris. Chris off the back end, off the wall. Nice stop there by Staz. TCW picking it up on the far side for the boys in red. Looking to break his way loose down to the near side. Over to Peaches. Peaches leaning, shooting off the near side and wide. Staz back out to the point, finds his way to TCW. TCW off the back end. Cherries throws that into the corner. Here's Chris with it now. Chris for the cult. Top side. Staz applies the pressure, sends it against the grain down the near side, out of the way of harm. Here's TCW with it now for the Trappers. TCW near side, good stop by Cherries, but not able to take it away. Peaches slaps that one back defensively over to TCW. Both teams very cautious, not taking a whole lot of risk. Neither team really getting a reward so far. Only one shot on the board after 3:40. And you're playing that neutral zone game. Peaches back out to the point. TCW shooting. Nice save by Chris. Now it's sent out to the far side. Chris towards that top. Nice stop by Peaches. Peaches shooting. Goes off the body of Chris and sent down the near side by Cherries. 60 seconds to go here in the first period of game one. Sends that one across the rink down into the near side corner. Here's Cherries with it now. Cherries out in front. Nexus with an empty net. Not able to get the puck on the forehand as it hits him in the hip and it goes by the wayside. Nice save by TCW and a long distance shot from the neutral zone. Chris wanting a little bit of a mulligan on that one. TCW to Staz. Staz down the near side trying to get away from the captain of the cult. The puck falls his way topside down into the drink. Nexus with it now. Nexus off the forehand, trying to get away from the opposition. 30 seconds to go. Nexus with a shot. Peaches with a save. Sends this one out the full 200. 25 seconds to go here in the first. Still scoreless. Nexus near side point shooting. Nice save by TCW, and he scoops it topside board. Staz with a break. Nice shot, but that one goes wide off into the near side corner. Cherries. Near side. Peaches. Off the forehand, looking down low, 10 seconds to go. Nexus with a hip, nice control by TCW, sends this one down the near side. Peaches, Nexus goes over to Staz off the tip of the stick. And one last prayer, not answered. And that will do it for the first period of action. We're tied. That's all I got. 3 shots to 2. Not a whole lot to talk about in that first period of action. Both teams really feeling each other out. Not wanting to give up a lot, not wanting to take a lot neither. A lot of possession time between these two teams, and that neutral zone game is just there. 4 takeaways, 4 turnovers. TCW playing the sticks a lot, and call it more times than not. Better side of the takeaways during that first period of action, and yeah. I got nothing. It was a nothing burger. Nobody did anything. There's 5 shots. We're going back in. Second period of action. Here we go. Trappers right side, Cult left side. Nexus looking to send this one back over to Chris. Chris here with it now towards that top side. Throws this one off the glass over to Staz. Staz here on the far side point, trying to get the Trappers on the board here for the first time in the game. Nice control there by Nexus. Sticking with Staz stride for stride. Chris down the near side, gets this one out the Cherries top side, crosses it across center ice. Nexus back pass over to Chris. Here's Chris with it now, down the near side, finds his way over to Cherries. Cherries along the enemy goal line in the corner. Looking to send this one back off the near side wall over to Chris. Top side out to Nexus. Nexus here, 30 seconds in here to the second period of game one. Cherries looking to take his talents down to the far side. Nice control, just not able to waltz with it. He might have just been a little bit too adamant there. Here's Cherries with it. Off the side of the cage over to Chris. Chris with the bank pass over to Cherries. Pops this one back out to the point. Here's Chris with it once more. Top side just out of the reach of Nexus. He has to go after that one. Sends that one back to the point. Nexus back in. Staz with a stop. Staz with a step. Not able to take it away with the physicality. Chris regains possession for the Copenhagen Cult. 3:56 to go here in the second. Topside pass out. Finds his way off that boards. Nexus. TCW picking that one up for the Wendake Trappers. TCW, the long stretch pass down the straight. Peaches shooting. Nice save by Chris back between the pipes. Copenhagen Cult keeping it the same. Next with a chance. Throws that one softly against TCW. Tries to go after his rebound. So that one goes out to the far side corner. TCW and Cherries will fight over it. That one's popped out loose top side. Chris trying to get some elbow room to work with against Staz. We'll find just that with 3:28 to work with here in the second. TCW with a good interception, just not able to take it away cleanly. Cherries making his life a little bit more difficult, giving him something to talk about with his therapist. TCW taking his time. 3:15 to go here in the second. Nobody with a goal so far. TCW down to the near side, off that back end. Nexus with a good take. Not able to take that one away. TCW just throws down back on the defensive side for the Cult. Nexus not able to take the pass cleanly. TCW shooting. Nice block there by Cherries. Staz to the top side. I saw Pickles during the pregame was talking about the defense. I think N was also paying homage to the defense that's going to be played in this game. And I don't think they're disappointed, but I could be wrong. Nexus topside, pulling from the point down to the slot. Not able to find that one. Staz answering the call. The arms on the far side. So they throw this one back down over to Chris. Chris here with it now down the near side. Sends this one off the straight. Cherries top side. Look for the prayer over to Nexus. Banks that one off the boards. Now one's thrown down the length of the ice by TCW. Here's Chris with it now with 2:18 to work with here in the second. Nexus pulling from the red. Nice shot, but that one goes off a body. He'll throw it down on the second attempt over to Cherries. Cherries fans on that one. Staz will take it on the far side wall. Nexus off the forehand. Looking back defensively. Peaches takes down that passing lane. TCW clogs it up on the far side boards with Nexus and Cherries from their respective clubs. Here's Chris. Here's Cherries. Cherries throws it on the wall. Chris starts the breakout once more. Chris down to the near side wall. Goes off Peaches. Nexus throws that one back on the defensive side. Chris there picking up what he's putting down. Looking to simmer that one on the top side. And he retreats it down to the near side. Not a whole lot of passing lanes open. Wendake Trappers playing a good defensive game so far. Either offense really able to convert so far here tonight. Good try by Staz, but that one misses wide off the far side. Chris pops it along the yellow. Nexus topside back over to Chris. Chris here with it now for the Copenhagen Cult. Looking to break this one down the near side just out of the reach of Nexus. Throws this one along the enemy end wall. TCW throwing top side. Chris down to Cherries. Cherries off to the near side. Looking to get a step for the Cult. Out to the near side point. Staz there with a good takeaway. Chops this one loose to the center lane. TCW just a little too far behind the play, and Cherries will return that one back defensively over to Chris. Here's Chris with it now. Top side. Cherries with a shot. Nice save by Staz. 60 seconds to go here in the second chapter of play in game one. Everybody's playing cautious. Staz with it now. Stopped by Nexus. Nexus in the corner trying to get it out for the Cult. Cherries finds his way back down low. Peaches. Staz. Cherries out in front. Nobody able to knock on that door. Peaches over to Staz. Staz not able to take the odds. Will take the jive, though. Not able to get that one past Cherries. Here's Cherries, top side. Goes from the point back to the red line. Cherries with it now. Tries to get past Staz. Not able to get the stick dangles to work for him tonight. That shot goes off TCW on the far side wall. Goes corner to corner. Staz goes near side. Peaches has to come back for it. Finds his way to TCW. Off that back end. Looks for a little shot. Not able to get that one off cleanly. Here's Chris with it now with 16 to go here in the second period. TCW off of Nexus. Nexus top side. Chris with it, or Cherries with it now. Cherries down in the corner. Looks for the pass out in front. Not able to find a body. Able and willing. Cherries down low. Nexus with 3. Out in front. Now it's awarded the save. And that's the end of 2. This is the first time I've ever seen a scoreless game go into this third period of action. I've never once seen this in my life. Close game. Close game. 9 saves. 9 shots. I don't know. This never happens. I don't know how to commentate this. 2 minutes. Chris has held the puck uncontested. Not as much for the Trappers, but like it's still there. TCW playing the 3 for the majority of this matchup. Staz has the majority of saves. 4 saves out of the team's 6. Nobody's got a goal yet, but the night is still young. Hopefully we'll find one. Darth, we need a caster's curse for a goal, please. I don't. Man, I don't think it works like that. We're down on the ice, third period of action, ready to rock, ready to roll. Cult on the left side, Trappers on the right, and we're witnessing SPL history, whether you like it or not. I don't know what you want from me. You want a cookie? TCW shut down by Nexus. Here's Peaches with it now. Backhand shot. It was going in. Chris not having any of it right now. Staz off Cherries in. Oh, that's the first one of the game. I don't understand physics. I don't understand calculus, and I don't understand slap shot. 1-0. Trappers lead. Baffling. I didn't say anything though. You can't chalk that up to the caster's curse. Peaches shooting far side and wide. They're putting on the Ritz, all right? They're sweating to the oldies like they're Richard Simmons, and everybody doesn't know who that is except maybe Blades. So, little age check there. Chris with a nice deflection, sends this one down the near side. Here's Chris with it now, taking this one down the near side, looking for the walk. Staz out in front. Cherries gets the deflection off the crease, throws this one down the far side of the ice. Here's TCW with it now for Wendake. Peaches off the near side. Here's Cherries. Chris with it now in the neutral zone. Crosses that one to the top side point. Cherries off the backhand. Tries to get the blue shot to work with him. TCW with a shot blocked away by Chris. Here's Chris with it once more. Off the backhand. Stopped by Peaches. Peaches dangling. Shooting. Near side and wide. Good stick check by the Colts on the back check. Here's Chris LOL with it. Misses that one. Here's Staz now with it. Down low for the Trappers. Tries to get this one down the near side wall. Hits Peaches at the point. Just not able to waltz with it. Gets a shot on target, but does not result in a goal light. Here's Nexus. Off the backhand. Back over to Chris. And he'll take charge. Near side, Nexus across the top side. Out of the air. Cherries with a good catch. Off a body. Almost able to send that one on. Nexus to Chris. Off Peaches. Huh? Well, that's interesting. That sure does thicken the plot. There's a little soup to savor. 3:15 to go. It's 2-0. I really don't know what to say or what to do. I'm like a middle schooler giving a presentation right now, and with his hands, he has no idea what to do with them. That's me with words, though. Cherries, near side, tries to drive his way down into the offensive zone off that forehand, finds his way over to Chris. Chris here with it now, banned from playing defense, so he's going to be on the offensive side for a little bit here. TCW here with it now. Maybe Sanguine should pop in. I don't know. I'm not the cult captain, but there have been whispers on the grapevine. Chris there with a save, awarded that one out in front, playing with a dangerous game, playing with that fire again, but makes it out. We drive on. Peaches backhand down the near side over to Nexus. Nexus halfway through the third period. There's been 2 goals this period. Who they were scored by is still up for question. Chris to Nexus. Nexus near side. Chris with a try, scores, and he's got a hat trick whether you like it or not. I think. I don't remember if the first one went off of him or not. Either way, they cut the lead in half here in the third period, and they're starting to open up on the offensive side of the puck and giving us something to talk about. 2:16 to go here in the third. It's 1-2. Chris coming back for this one. Looking to bring this one down center lane, shooting just wide off that far side. TCW thrown over to Peaches, empty cage, walks that one in, and it's another Trappers goal. The first one they've scored tonight under their own volition. 2:01 to go here in the third. It's 3-1 Trappers. Nexus, top side, thrown down by Chris. Cherries after this one, trying to get that first point of contact. He does, but he does with it. It's up for grabs. Top side, almost had a scoring chance there. Chris just a little behind on that one. Nexus near side, throws this one down into the O-zone. Staz to GCW. It feels like they're playing 4-on-4. I casted a little 4-on-4 earlier today, and it feels like all of those passes that I saw in that league, they're here tonight. But the guy they're passing it to, he's just not there. I'm a little baffled. I'm not gonna lie to you, but this matchup has had an extended off the post. Oh, I can feel the heart tear in half from that shot at the blue line. 1:12 to go here in the third, and that one goes in. No way! I can't believe it. Out of all the things that have happened in this matchup, I am baffled. I am at a loss of words. Some might say I've flabbergasmed. I don't think that's a word, but you heard it here first. Challenger moment. Terry's at the blue line, looked for the forehand shot. That was a beautiful jive with that one, but just not quite able to get that one through the floodgates. Here's Chris with it now down the near side. Banks this one over to Cherries with a backboard pass, little alley-oop action on that far side post. Just not able to waltz with it. Banks this one off that far side boards. Nice save there by TCW. Does not get awarded the save, even though I feel like he should have. Peach with a shot. Nice save there by Chris. He also doesn't get awarded the save, even though I feel like it was pretty blunt, pretty cut and clean. Peach has almost had a free goal there. Chris, Nexus, deflected wide by TCW. 30 seconds to go. They need one more. Calder down by 1. They just need to get a shot through the weeds. Shooting off the body and in. There she goes. Oh, my goodness. Out of all the things that I was ready for today, slap shot certainly made the list. 21 seconds to go. We're tied again. All defense, all breaks to no breaks. 6 goals on the board. Maybe they had just been fishing for overtime. Maybe they had an agreement going into this one. Maybe they had like a cash money side of the deal. Peaches with a try, not able to get that one past Cherries. Oh, it goes in! No way! I can't believe it. The game's over. From that. That's the game-winning goal. Wendake take home game 1-4 to what? Like, there's a lot of ways to draw up the script for this game. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things, and this game makes that list. 11 shots somehow, 4 of them going in. Chris found 2 goals. Nexus with 1 during that that third period of action. That is some of the strangest slap shot I have ever watched, and I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. If I'm being blunt and being honest, straight shooting from the hip, firing with you straight on. Cherries played a great game. Had some great dangles in there towards the end of that last game. Hopefully we see that transition into the next matchup. Sanguine's still sitting on the bench thinking about what I could do if I was on the ice right now. Chris, 2 goals. Nexus with 1 was not enough to take out the Wendake Trappers. They put on the Ritz, and they put on the Ritz well. TCW, 2 points. Peaches with 3 points. Staz with 2 to his back wallet. They played... TCW had a lot of possession time during that third period of action. Of course, Chris had the most in the lobby, but not to take away from the Wendake prowess during that last stretch of regulation. Cherries had 8 turnovers. I don't know how well that translates into the play, but the stats be like the stats do, and Chris had a great takeaway ratio during that one. Yeah, not a lot of people with a positive turnover ratio. But also not a lot of people with a lot of shots neither. 11 shots for Wendake, a few less for Copenhagen. But TCW, minute 40 with the puck uncontested. Chris had the most possession time, I think, out of any game I've seen this season with 2 minutes 25. Just him and the puck. They're hanging out. He took it out on a date. He didn't want to be rude. And he was the vast majority of the Copenhagen puck possession time. But possession time and slap shot rebound, if you're not aware, is just if you can touch the puck and that's it, your timer starts. As soon as somebody else can touch the puck or you can no longer touch that puck, that's when the timer stops. So it's uncontested puck possession time as compared to contested puck possession time, I suppose. Yeah. Did D-Bun do the math? Is that factual? Own goals are 90% of the goals in this series so far. Well, I mean, I'd believe it. I don't know if it's factual, but it has been mentioned once here. So we're back on the ice for game 2. Trappers right side, Call to the left. The puck is dropped. The game is on, and time once again is underway here in the second. This best of 3. Copenhagen Cult sitting at a do-or-die situation from that game-winning goal late in that first game. That third period of action had a lot to talk about, and little time to say it. TCW sends this one down the near side. Out the Staz, empty 4x6, shooting, scoring, and we already got our first goal of game 2. A good shot, a good goal on that far side wall, and Chris just a little behind on the play. 20 seconds in, Trappers lead at 1-0. Staz. I don't know if he was trying to rag it or he's just trying to get the puck off the wall. Either way, Chris with it now, top side, taking this one out for the Copenhagen Cult down to the near side. That forehand banks it off the wall. Cherries with the backhand shot, hits the post off the near side, and that one goes wide slowly at Mock Snail. Peaches off Cherries on that dump down. Here's Chris with it now for the Copenhagen Cult. They trail by 1 here in the second game, first period of action. You're smelling what I'm stepping in. Chris top side, over to Nexus, off that backhand, tries to finish that one back out to the neutral zone. Staz going to just chuck this one down northways. Chris top side, off the stick of Nexus. That one's thrown away by Peaches. Here's Cherries, over to Chris. Chris just driving down the near side, throws it corner to corner, over the stick of his captain. Now into the neutral zone. Peaches shooting, near side and wide. Staz with it now. Staz, long way back. Nexus getting a piece of it, just not able to take possession away. TCW with an out off that backhand, hits Cherries over to Chris. Chris off that near side, hits the backboard. Out in front, Cherries had a chance, but Peaches able to back check its way through the traffic and into the back of the net. Staz able to cement their second goal tonight. What a shot. What a play. What a strange way to slap shot. But in the end, the team that scores more wins it. So right now, the Trappers have themselves a spot in pro. If nothing else happens this game, they'll make themselves a pro team next season. Here's Chris with it now, taking this one down to the near side, just out of the reach of Nexus. Goes out the full 200. Here's TCW with it. Goes off the hip of Cherries, back to TCW. TCW. Back out to the far side. Peaches coming back for it. Nexus to Cherries. Cherries off TCW. He jousts with the 6. TCW just walks away with nothing but loose change. And that's goal 3 on shot 3. All of them with nobody between the shooter and the net. Trappers lead it 3-0 here in the first in game 2. Staz doing stuff. Back the near side over to TCW. Look at him do stuff now. Off that forehand, sent down the near side. Here's Staz ready to hockey it up. Chris with a nice pinch, finds his way back over for the cult. Nexus throws this one down northways. Here's Peaches with it. Top side. Stopped by Nexus along the far side wall. Makes his life difficult with a few stick checks. Staz here with a backhand try down into the O-zone. Cherries throws this one neutral. TCW carrying the mail with 2:08 to work with here in the first period of action. Abides his time. Waits out his patience. Chris with possession. Goes off Staz down to the near side. Chris has a step. Finds his way to Cherries. Throws it into the far side corner. Here's TCW with a stick check. Chris trying to find possession back for the Copenhagen Cult. Off that forehand. He'll take this one back for a ride around town. Near side. Cuts it across the grain. Peaches with a piece of that one. Nexus tries to get that one back in possession for the boys in the black and the navy. Cherries, Nexus, backhand feed through the point out to the far side of the red line. Cherries and TCW collide along the boards. TCW waltzing that one back on the defensive side. Here's Peach with an out, backhand through the crease out to Chris. Chris here with an out, 120. Man, I'm dyslexic. 125 to work with here in the first period of action. Not a lot to talk about from the Colts offensive side. That's a goal. Out go the Hats. The captain of Wendake showing his talent on the ice here tonight. Has found the back of the cage 4 times in the last 4 minutes. And the Colts are collapsing. Going out of the last matchup. Not sure what we're going to see. There's going to be I feel like the Copenhagen Cult wanted to play a little bit more risk, a little bit more reward. And that overextension is just, it's costing them dearly. They're not leaving somebody back deep enough to adapt to the long-distance passes that the Trappers are putting on for us. And it's really hurting them. All 4 of the goals have just been, they could have been walk-ins. But it's hard to defend when you're not on defense. 36 seconds to go here in the first period. Wendake with all the talking here in the first. TCW here with it now. Takes his time with puck topside over to Staz. Staz off the backhand. Stopped by Nexus. Here's Chris with it now. 20 seconds to go. Trying to get one more opportunity on the board. Cherries near side. Shooting near side and wide. TCW with it now. 13 seconds to go. Over to Peaches. Right on the dime. Off that backhand. Just barely behind his captain on the far side wall. Here's Nexus. Off the back. Sent out the Cherries. Nice save by TCW to answer the doorstep. And the only call to action Copenhagen has put on the board here for the first. And that will do it for our chapter in our first third in the books. Wendake 4. Copenhagen still looking for something to talk about. 1 shot to 6. It's been a little lopsided during the first chapter of play here in Book 2. Our story tonight on our quest for Pro Team 9 out of 10. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like I've been really negative this broadcast. Whenever I don't mean to be. But looking at these two teams' track records, both games were 10-11. Both of them. I don't know where that pizzazz is gone. Very low shots, very low scores. We're back on the ice here for the second period of action. Colts on the left side, Wendake on the right. The puck's dropped. The game's back underway. Sanguine on the ice for the first time here in the finals here tonight. I hand that one off to Nexus. Chris sitting on the bench. Peaches takes it away. Nice stop there by Sanguini with that little hip check. Throws that little swivel and the little finger waggle. Not in my kitchen. That's where I was going with it. Peaches. Stats. Top side. Off the near side and barely wide. Here's Nexus. Taking his time with it. Takes the one off the far side window. Finding his way over to Cherries. TCW fighting with it. Good try there by Nexus, but the puck gets away from him. Peaches here with it now. Shooting! Almost able to weave that one through the defensive jungle of legs. Here's Peaches shooting. Nice save there by Sanguine into the far side corner. The Colts on the ropes a little bit here to start off the second period of Game 2. They're in a do-or-die situation. They need to walk away with at least 2 goals at the end of these next 3 minutes 58. Sanguine starting this breakout down to the near side, cuts it across over to Nexus. Nexus near side finds his way to Cherries. Off the bank pass, not able to get that one out in front. Good shut down there by Peaches. Out the far side post, off the body of TCW and out to the neutral zone, thrown right back down and in. Nexus throws it off the end glass, off the hip, not able to find anybody to swivel that one in the slot. Cherries top side, off the walls. Nice try there by Sanguine, just not able to get it to go. Off the near side, good handle there by Peaches, keeping that one out of the way of harm. Throws that one neutral zone. Cherries with the takeaway. Near side, across the grain with a shot attempt, just goes wide. Here's Sanguine. Colt just need to hit the net. Doesn't matter where you're on the ice, just start hitting the net. Things will happen, I promise you. Some of those things might be saved. Some of those things might cause a little red lamp to go off. Scoring! There she goes! And it's 1-4. 3:12 to go in the middle chapter of play in Game 2. Cherries finds himself on the board for the first time, I think, tonight. Sanguine looking to bring the Colts a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of a luck charm. Top side, long distance pass. Cherries with the first touch. Finds Nexus on the far side wall. Bringing this one down into the corner. Off to the near side. Staz has the step for the Wendake Trappers. Out of the zone. Finds Peaches off the forehand. Just not able to get it to rock and lean with it. Sanguini. I don't know if it's Sanguine or Sanguini, so I'm going to call him both ways and then be wrong imminently. Nexus. Far side wall. Just past the hands of Cherries. Back over to TCW. Here's TCW with it now for the Wendake Trappers as they play the waiting game. Near side. Staz with it now. Cherries with a good stick check. Just not able to take it. He does take it pretty cleanly. Shooting. Nice save there by TCW. TCW sent off the near side. Peaches through the crease or through the orbital. I'm not mathematic. I'm not thinky right now. We're gonna keep moving on. We're hockey in this one. Nexus. TCW. Good stop there. Looking for a topside jive. Got a lot to look for. Shooting! Oh, he makes an opportunity out of nothing. Great shot by TCW. Showing us why he's the carry of Challenger here this season. There's his boys up on the board for 5 here in the second period. They lead it by 4. We'll see if they can get another one. 2 minutes to go. Staz with the puck once more. Here's Cherries with it now. Cherries topside over to Sanguine. Sanguine off that backhand. Tries to get this one through traffic. Hits TCW once with it. Learns from his mistake. Sends this one back to Cherries. Sanguine. TCW. TCW with it now. Taking his time. Breaks off the far side. Throws this one down the straight over to Staz. Staz with it now. Off that backhand. Cuts it across. Nice stop there by Cherries. Goes off the hip through the neutral zone. He's just going to try to keep pressing on. That little backhand pocket. Here's Nexus with it now. 1:27 to go here in the second. Goes off the dome of Peaches. Down low. TCW picking up the mail. Sends this one down the near side to carry it away. Here's Peaches. Cross the grain. Nice stop there by Cherries. Off the red line. Back to himself. Off that near side wall. He'll dump this one down and into the Wendake zone. TCW. We're going to take this one down the near side for a little... I just can't think of English today. I don't know what it is. My brain is just shot out in front. 60 to go, and that might be a goal, and it is. Staz, another 5 goals in Game 2. And he makes it 6-1. Wild. Wild time to be alive. DCW down the near side wall, looking for a leading pass over to Staz, just out of the reach of him. Staz, Peaches, off the backhand, sent back down low over to Staz. Yeah, and there he is with another one. And that Should have been his 6th. Is my counting wrong? Do I not have enough fingers to count how many shots he's made tonight? Stas making it a little bit of what is known as a Brazil. A little Jeopardy answer there. Nexus, Stas looking to break this one towards that top side of the ice. 23 seconds to go. Stas holding it along the boards for a little bit, looking for an opportunity to reveal itself. Like, the only analogy I can think of is like God did to Moses, but like 3 people in this chat are going to know what I'm talking about. 10 seconds to go. TCW with the puck and the lead. Looking to throw that one off the face of Nexus. Stas. And that will do it for the second. 7-1 is our score. Trappers having a demanding lead at the end of 2. And one that I don't really have a whole lot of confidence that will be taken away from them. But shots are 10-5, and it's pretty evident on that scoreboard. Walking away with that one. Chris, I guess we have a 4th man now. Cherries with the only goal for the Copenhagen Cult, looking to find the back of the net maybe once more. Looks like he will remain on the ice with Sanguine. Chris back on the ice for the Copenhagen Cult, and the captain to sit on the bench. So no Nexus for this 3rd and final period of what could be the Copenhagen Copenhagen career, but the Copenhagen season. If they lose this one, they're done. They'll look forward to playing the Spinners during the preseason of Season 9. But Wendake, they have the 6-goal lead. They got a lot of cushion to work with here. They could probably just rag it out. It'll be lame if they do that, but they could do that. Stas 5 goals, TCW with 2. I was 1 goal off. I forgot about the TCW goal from days past. He's got a pair of peaches with 3 points so far tonight. And we'll see how they do. 3rd period of action. Ready to rock, ready to roll. We're back down on the ice for the last time, potentially, in Season 8 in this Challenger Division. Call it on the left side. Trappers on the right. The puck's dropped. The game's back underway for the final chapter. What is our story tonight? Maybe. I don't know. We might have game 3. I could be entirely wrong. I don't really know. Out in front. Goes over to Cherries. DCW trying to fight for the puck for Wendake. Back over to Peaches. Peaches with an now off that forehand. Into the back. Throws it off the wall. Makes Stas fight for it. Peaches regaining possession back at his own blue line. Tries to get fancy with it. Not sure if that's in the deck of cards here tonight, but Stas regains composure back on the defensive side. Sanguine shooting. Far side and wide. Here's Chris with it now. Off the backhand. TCW. I can only imagine what the locker room vibes. Ah, there she goes. His first hat trick of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. TCW able to send the one packing between the uprights, and it's 8-1 Wendake. 4:18 to go here in the 3rd. 7's our gap. Off the post, and that one sends it off the far side. TCW chucking that one down the length. Here's Cherries with it now. Sanguine picking it up a minute into this 3rd period of action. Cherries off Stas, down low to Peaches, back over to Stas. Stas off that backhand, looking to break through that neutral zone. Stas retaining composure. Cherries takes it away off to the near side, sends it into the corner. Peaches with the first touch, finds his way back to TCW. TCW looks towards that top side. Good bank pass to himself. Sends this one down the near side straight over to Peaches. Empty net. Passes it instead, and Stas a swing and a miss. Peaches takes up the mantle. Top side at the point. Chris going to chuck that one down off that forehand. Just trying to get a piece of the pie and got all of it. Here's Cherries with it now with 3:20 to work with here in the 3rd period of action. Cherries near side. Chris off the back end. Hits the side of the cage with that one. Looking to break this one towards that top side. Out to the point. Cherries with a shot. TCW there to save that one away into the near side wall. TCW to Peaches. If he caught that, there was a real good chance he was going to score there. Chris just a little behind on that play. Stas. Oh, and there she goes, the double Hattie. And he makes it 9-1 for the Wendake Trappers. And that might just be the final nail placed firmly into the top of the coffin. .255 to work with. Both teams looking to drive on. Stas down the near side over to Peaches. Peaches off the backhand. Sanguine with a touch with it down through the neutral zone. Tries to take it straight down center lane, but finds too many sticks to get that one through cleanly. Here's Stas shooting. Nice save there by Chris. Chris off the backhand. From the point, looks for Sanguine off the near side, but not able to hit that deflection shot. This one pops its way through the neutral and out to Peaches. Peaches here with it now. Chris Cherries with a shot. He finds the back of the net for the second time here in game 2. 2 goals for Cherries, 2 goals for the Cult. And he's finding himself something to talk about. Halfway through the third, it's 2-9. And they still got a lot of this hill to climb up. Sanguine out of the zone. Cherries here off the forehand, just barely wide off the near side. Chris here with the waltz. Stas with a little bit of a stick check. Versus one into the far side corner. Chris off Peaches. Peaches off the backhand, down to the near side wall. Looking for Chris. Chris here with an out. Tries to drive through the solid object that is Stas. Here's Sanguine with an out towards that top side. TCW getting fancy with it on the far side, face off top. Looking for the shot. Nice, good stick check there by Sanguine, getting a piece of that one on its way through. Sanguine off this backhand, looks towards that top side of the ice. Here's Chris with an out with 1:45 to go here in the third. Down the near side straight, Chris. Our Cherries with a great try. They both start with a C and have an H in their name. That's what I'm chalking it up to. I think that R's also throwing me off. I'm just seeing shapes. I got night blindness. 1:30 to go here in the third period of action. And I don't know if this is, I've never seen a difference of 6 or more brought back in one period alone. So that stat is going to remain a factual statement over the span of a few seasons. CCW just pops one in. That's a good shot. When I lay this game down in the lap of he who is above, I think of many things. And I think the biggest takeaway we're going to have walking out of this one is the coach just needed to shoot more. But then again, the Wendake Trappers have played a fabulous back-checking game. They haven't given the Copenhagen Cult a lot to work with whenever it comes to their transition games. But both of these teams are going to be in for a rough ride if they play like this in the Pro Division. I don't mean to be mean. I'm just throwing it out there factually. A lot of their passes are just there. Like, it's just that direction. It's not to somebody. It's to that direction. That one's a good one. I like that pass. That one's a great one. And that one had purpose behind it as well. But watch game 1. Watch the beginning of game 2. It might be a warm-up phase. It might not have been. I don't know. I haven't watched these two teams play most of the regular season, so I could be entirely wrong. But if they played it like they did tonight, they're going to get mercied a lot in the Pro Division. I could be wrong. I could be right. Prove me wrong. I'll be happy for that. I'll be happy if that happens. But it looks like the Wendake Trappers, with 10 seconds remaining, have stated their facts and put it all on the table for us to digest and think about and learn on and talk about in lobby after this one's over. But that is it. The Wendake Trappers are a pro team going into season number 9, cementing themselves a 10-2 victory during game 2 in the Challenger Finals. I'm sorry I was mean this broadcast. I don't know what was in me. It was something in the water. I really don't know. It's something about it. I apologize, but at the same time, I'm a little bit too critical. I don't know. 10-2, a very whopping difference on the board. Wendake hitting some of the mile markers they had. I just think my expectations were too high for this matchup. I think that's all it was. I'll go into why here in a few moments. But 8 shots to 15. Wendake Trappers finding the back of the net all but 5 times. And Copenhagen trying to mix up their lineup a little bit during that last game. Just trying to find anything that works. And they are going to have a long offseason. But they'll still have their shot. Pittsburgh Spinners set as the best of 3 matchup against the Copenhagen Cult during the preseason. After Easter, day after Easter, up until the following Monday, will be the little deciding factor of whether or not the Cult make it pro or not. But the Cult put a lot out there for us tonight. They won a lot of faceoffs. They made a lot of passes, but they did not have the goals to do it. And in the end, that's all you can really look at. I mean, all for naught if you don't score goals. Cherries found the back of the net 2 times, the only 2 during that second matchup for the Copenhagen Cult. Wendake had themselves a lot of wealth to spread. But that possession time, a lot more even. Chris didn't play as much of the defensive game as he did in that first matchup, and the score shows it. Peaches, 4 points on the night. TCW found 5. Stas, double Hattie during the magnum opus, the Ameno stage of it, if you will. TCW, 6 out of the team's 6 saves, played a full 200 foot of ice fabulously. Had the most possession time out of the lobby during that second matchup. And a big reason why they had 3 minutes uncontested with the puck on their stick as a unit. Wendake Trappers, congratulations on making pro. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. They got a long off season to work on their game, to get better. In 2 months, in the past, an open team has made pro. It's happened a couple times. Open players going all the way up to pro, and I'm not calling the Wendake Trappers or Copenhagen open. I'm not saying that. Don't take that out of my mouth. All right. So, what I'm saying is there has been a lot. I don't know what the scene is. We're just in the void. Where Squidward goes to be all alone, but night mode. What I'm saying is over the offseason, players and teams can do a lot of spiritual work, a lot of skill sharpening, and I think both these teams are going to do just that going into Season 9. Wendake Trappers now cementing themselves as pro team number 9. That 10th spot is still up for grabs between the Cult and the Spinners, and then maybe if another a group of former pro teams come back, we might have a round robin play. It's hard to say. That's for signups to figure out and for us to not know until then. But going back to what I was talking about, my expectations for this game completely different from what we had. I was expecting another one of these games. 11-10. Those games were wild. To look at the stat sheets going into this one, and I was expecting just that. And we definitely did not get it. Wendake found 10 goals during that second game, but that first game, scoreless going into the third. Never saw it ever in SPL history. And, well, now I can say I have seen it. But we're going to see what happens going into the off season. Challengers in the books. Waiting to see how the pro scene finishes off. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out, watching some Slapshot with me. Thank you for all the support this broadcast. Nair with a sub. I appreciate you. Cheese Pup going, give a thing a sub to Hockey Biscuit. I appreciate you as well. Hope you're having a great day. Along with our big names in red, Eli, Irvion, Jaystronics, former league admin and lead broadcaster Min Snoda. Accompanied by Gubby, Unglued Snail, Manny, Q Silver, Cloudy, and this season, Davo. Big broadcast. But that's really all I got for you today. Why did you cast the USL today? Because they didn't have a caster, and I didn't have anything else to do. So, yeah. What a strange game. I really don't know what to think of that. I've never seen... I don't know if it's good or bad that I've never seen Slapshot like that. But I'll keep those other comments to myself. You guys heard me spiel my opinion for the last hour and a half. I'm going to go to work. Was the ping bad while you're in chat? Was the ping an issue tonight? Or was it something else? I think the other guys were laggy. Anytime I see something like that, I don't want to call it out and be harsh about it, because normally it's my ping's been horrible, and I live decently close to both Central and the Eastern servers. I normally get 28 ping on both servers, but the last 2 months I've been getting 56, sometimes 62, which is West ping. That's the ping I get on West, but from my own region. I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, I've gotten used to the higher ping, but yeah. The latency symbol doesn't mean a lot. It just tells you that your ping's above a certain threshold. But if you get used to it, you can play with it. Flico knows how to do it. Blue knows how to do with it. Yeah, some days the servers just they go on vacation for a couple hours, and they let you up to your own devices. The parking meter. Yeah, parking meter. I'm stealing that. That's a good one. That's a good one, Wiffle. But I'm going to go to the gym. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Darth. Thank you for tuning into the SPL Network. Hope to see you guys in the next broadcast. I think on the 19th we're having our semifinals matchup between the Cotacook Stars and the Colorado Cobras. I could be wrong on that one. That's the word on the street. Whenever we get a solid start time down, you'll see it in the Discord, and keep you in the loop. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Darth. And yeah, that's all I got for you. With that being said, hope you all have a great afternoon, a great evening, and a great night.